Good afternoon again, class. Welcome to Logic of Inquiry, your online syllabus tutorial. Basically, this is what you all will see mostly what you will see when you come onto the class. As you can see, though, you don't have all of these tools down here that I have, but basically, this is pretty much what your your Blackboard will look like when you get on. First thing, every week you'll get an announcement from me, as you did already this week, where you can watch a video. I usually have a little comic strip because I like the comics, and usually are relevant for that week's class materials. There's a bunch of other functions that I want to make you aware of, but first let's start off by going up here, click on course syllabus and info, which you should have already done, which is how you got to this video. Um, Basically, this is your syllabus for the semester. The syllabus is basically, I outline everything we're going to do. You can click on syllabus and open it up. It opens into a new document, as you can see. This is the class. This is me. My researcher's office is in building 1, and that's my phone number. In addition, I have office hours where I actually am sitting in my office from 9 until 11:30 on Mondays and Wednesdays. I teach at noon in another class on Mondays and Wednesdays, so I stop office hours at 11:30 to go to that class. But you can call me or email me and set up an appointment anytime you'd like. Our book is Making Sense of the Social World, Methods of Investigation, 4th edition. There's a lot of used copies out there. There's online copies, so I think you can get it cheaper than what the bookstore has it, but good luck. There also is a publication manual of the American Sociological Association. I'll have several links to that up on Blackboard for you as well. I basically lay out the course objectives. Basically, your social science majors, you need to know how it's done and how to teach you to think critically about the social research you will be reading, that you read about in newspapers. In fact, one of the assignments is to help you understand that, because most of you will not be PhDs in sociology. Most of you will be working in agencies and the like, and will need to understand how to read critically the news that covers social science research. Course requirements and structure. It's an online class completely. We start the week at 8 a.m. on Monday mornings. Each Monday you'll get an announcement from me. And it ends, and almost all assignments are due at 10 p.m. on Sunday night. That gives you a couple of extra hours to get the work done if you have a class where work has to be turned in by midnight. For my class, it's 10 o'clock. You also have to collaborate. We'll be doing some discussion boards and some online group assignments. You'll learn more about those as we go, but you need to be able to collaborate with your friends. You'll need to do the readings. This is not a lecture course. I can't rely on getting all the information across by lecture, so you need to make sure you do the reading and timely, satisfactory completion of all the assignments, the projects, discussion boards, weekly assessments. You can call them quizzes if you want, and if you take the final exam. I don't take anything late. This is an online class, so again, the work week starts Monday at 8 a.m. and ends Sunday at 10 p.m. when the assignments are due. All right, everything is on Blackboard and or the University of North Florida library, where you can access work for your papers. There are 4 basic components of grading. First of all, you'll be writing a series of short papers. There'll be basically 4 of them: a review paper and a final research paper project, which is broken down into 3 components. I'll talk about that a lot more once those come due. We'll start probably the review paper will be due in week 4, or we assign in week 4 and due in week 5. This is worth 35% of your grade, and if you do not turn in all parts of the research paper project, you get 0 credit for this component. So 35% of your class, if you don't do the work, you can't pass the class. In addition, each week we will cover a different chapter from the text, as well as some additional chapters from another textbook. And each week we will have a weekly assessment, kind of a short mini quiz to see if you make sure you're reading it and that you understand the material. Basically, it'll go live on Friday and remain open until Sunday at 10 p.m. And I want you to learn the material, so if you take it once and you do badly, you can take it again. All right? Each one will be worth 100 points, and you'll have 30 minutes to complete it, basically to be 10 to 15 questions, so you'll have plenty of time to complete the assessments. Also, I know some people sometimes miss an assessment or sometimes do poorly even on both tries, so I'll be offering an optional final exam that will be cumulative, based on the same questions you've seen throughout the semester, and it'll be during finals week. I'll show you that in a second. Quizzes, your assessment and final exam component is 25% of your grade. Again, the final exam can only help you by replacing 3 poor ones. I have you do what I call a research in the news scrapbook. Basically, I will have a list of newspapers out there and an example of a news article. Basically, I want you to go out and find how social science research is being used as a source of an article for about some issue facing society. It's straightforward. I have a list of newspapers you can do. I'll have an example. Each week you have a news in the scrapbook is due, and that's worth 20% of your final grade. Finally, the last 20% of your final grade will consist of class assignments and participation. Your first assignment, obviously, is to go out and do the little mini course on what online courses are all about. If you're this far along, you apparently did well enough on that you didn't want to drop this class. There will also be discussion boards. There also will be various other assignments that you will be given. Sometimes things come up and I want to have an assignment on things going on. Those will depend on when the events happen. I expect I'll probably have one every 1 to 2 weeks, but again, there's not a set number of those yet, so you need to keep on top. I expect everybody to show up online at least 3 or 4 times a week because there is a lot of work to be done. This is how I grade. Basically, it's pretty straightforward, and it's all based on the points and the weighted points. There's an ASA style guide that you have to do for all of your work. And I'll be putting up a variety of videos and PDFs and stuff to explain more of this as we move along. The main word of wisdom is don't get behind. Each week is laid out at the end of the syllabus for what we're going to be covering those weeks. As you can see, each week's basically a chapter going through the book with some additional materials. I also will be posting online when your papers will be due, and more on that will come more down the line. All right. Each week when you come on, like I said, each week you'll get an announcement telling you what's going on for the week, reminding you of your assignments, reminding you of the quiz on Friday, reminding you of all this stuff. And each week, under course documents, a folder will open. And for example, in week 1, I want you to look at this article called The Promise. If you click on this one right here, you'll see that it's an off-campus, and if you go to the bottom of this particular document, you'll see it has a series of 3 questions that we're going to be using down the road to talk about sociology. All right, that's a hint. All right. So there also I've posted for you some preliminary PDF of a PowerPoint program that you can look at and learn more about what Chapter 1 is about as well. All right. So each week, documents will open up. Once the documents open up, they'll remain open the entire semester so that you have access to all of the materials at all times. For assignments, however, each week an assignment will show up. A new folder will show up. For example, in week 1, you have a couple of assignments. You can see them now, but these 2 here, research survey and who are you really can't see that until you go back here to the syllabus again and you have completed your reviewing the folder. So for example, if you haven't reviewed the syllabus and click mark reviewed, when you go to assignments, there's nothing there. So you have to finish that to get to the assignments. But once you click it, you go to assignments, and week 1 will be open, and here will be your assignments. Once you complete the research survey, then the who are you assignment will also show up. There will be some group discussions down the road. Right now there are none out there, but you'll be informed when there are. I'll be putting you all into groups. There are 30 students currently enrolled in the class, so I'll probably end up with 3 groups of 10 for you all to have discussions. If at any time you have questions, you can email me or you can call me, and often what I will do is I will post the question under frequently asked questions and so that everybody can see. But you also can go to frequently asked questions, click there, create a thread, and ask an assignment. What is due this week, for example, and you submit it, and then somebody else can come in here and reply to your thing. All right, hit reply, 3 assignments. So that's your frequently asked questions. That's what I will probably use that more than anything to communicate the questions that people send me emails for as well. You have lots of tools. You can send email to me through here, or you can send email to your other students in your groups or in your class. But for the most part, this is how the class is organized. There's lots of material. Again, go back to the syllabus. Excuse me. Go back to the syllabus. And it opens. You can see the activities each week. We lay out exactly what we're going to be covering for the week. All right. By spring break, believe me, you'll be ready for spring break. Again, there's the online study guide that you can go to anytime you want. It's off campus. It's a student study site. It has all kinds of chapter resources. So, say you're in chapter 1, you can take a practice quiz. You can look at journals. You can look at all kinds of materials that allow you to understand what's going on. That comes free with the book. So that's the class for this spring semester. I look forward to working with you all. I'm hoping for a nice, smooth class. Believe me, it's there's a lot of work, and a lot of students who do this online find it very difficult to keep up. Please keep up, and I think we'll be in really good shape. Have a great day. Happy New Year, and good luck.